Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be doing a little get ready with me story time. So if you want to see how I get this little grungy look, hear a couple wacky ass stories about my life, then sit back, relax, enjoy this video, and don't forget, like this video, subscribe below, and hit that notification bell. Okay, everybody, we are back. I am makeup free, I have my coffee, and this mug is actually indicative of our story time today. So, like Florida, my stories are fucking crazy today. Both the stories I'm telling are wacky and so weird and very indicative of my life. If my life was a state, it would be Florida. But I digress. So we're just gonna start diving right in. I'm gonna start with my first story, and I'm gonna start priming with the KVD Locket Primer. So I am gonna start... Of the two stories, I'll start with the one that's a little more lighthearted. This was about, I'd say 2 months ago. I was invited to a gay cowboy disco party. I was like, fuck yes, sign me up, let's do it. And so I am going all around this damn city, trying to find cute stuff, trying to find stuff, and I cannot find half of the stuff I need, and I'm specifically looking for a cowboy hat. And I've looked around, I cannot find one that isn't either astronomically expensive or just like a piece of garbage so ugly. So I decided I'm gonna stop driving around place to place to place to place, and I am just going to finally call around. I'm gonna call a couple places, and I'm gonna see what the deal is. I'm gonna see if anyone has one. But my thing is, me sitting at home, these are the weird things that go through my mind. I'm running through my brain. I'm like, why do we call it a cowboy hat? Why a cowboy? There are cow women. All of this whole situation. So I'm like, how am I going to PC ask for a hat on the phone? Like, how do you ask for a cowboy hat in a different way? So I'm calling places around. I finally call a place, and this woman answers the phone. And I go, hello, I am looking for a hat for a cow person hat, a hat for cow people, a hat for a person who herds cattle. Could barely get it out. The woman on the phone very confidently goes, yes, I have it. Yes, come. I'm like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? She's like, no, we have it. Come this way, I will hold it for you behind the register. I'm like, oh my goodness, I found it. This woman is not only woke and amazing and totally got what I was saying, I found my hat. I'm so excited. I'm very ready to get there. So I look up the place, look up the address. Turns out this place is like 20 minutes away. And in this city, that's a little bit of a trek. You gotta go a ways. So I'm driving, and I'm realizing, okay, far more than 20 minutes away. It's like almost 30. Took me forever to get there. And so I finally show up. It is a very questionable establishment. So I walk inside, and I go up to the register very confidently. I am like, hello, I am the guy who called about the hat. I had someone put a hat on hold for me. And the girl goes, yes, I have it right here. She turns around, picks it up, sets it on the counter. And what is sitting in front of me is an inflatable cow head. An inflatable fucking cow's head. So when I said cow person on the phone, to be honest, she wasn't fucking wrong. But oh my God, I drove almost 30 minutes for an inflatable cow head, not my damn cow person hat. So, needless to say, I died laughing. I could not contain myself. I more or less excused myself from the store and was like, thank you. Dying. This girl thought she had made the sale of the year. She's like, I am finally getting rid of this fucking inflatable cow head. Oh my gosh, this is the best day of my life. No, ma'am, you will not trick me into that fucking cow head. So, needless to say, super mad. I drove 30 minutes for absolutely nothing, but honestly, for the story, so worth it. I'm gonna blend out the rest of my foundation, throw on some concealer, and then I'll be back for another story. Okay, so I actually just finished up the rest of my face makeup because I'm gonna dive into eyes. So I'm wearing black today because I was feeling a little grungy. So we're gonna go with that vibe. So I'm gonna dive into the Marc Jacobs Stiletto palette, see if I can get this in frame. Yes, pop this open. Look how pretty! Super cool toned, super glam, and I'm very excited to play with this. So we're gonna dive into my second story. Let me tell you, this one's a doozy, y'all. So it was this last weekend. My husband and I woke up on Saturday, and I'm just prepared for a very basic Saturday. I want to make a French press, walk my dogs, maybe do a puzzle. You know, it's quarantine times, you know? Ooh, I haven't even primed my eyes yet and I almost dived in. It's quarantine times. I mean, things are different now. We have different normals, different routines. But this Saturday we were like, okay, we'll wake up early. We'll just really take the day on, really enjoy it. Well, glad we woke up early because I needed the whole day for this doozy. So we walk outside. I'm just taking my dog for a walk, one of the dogs, and my husband's walking another one. And at one point we crossed paths and he asked me, hey babe, did you move your car when you left yesterday? And I was like, no. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, no, I took your car. And he goes, babe. And at that moment, I look over and I realize another car is parked where my car was. So my car was stolen. Full panic. So the husband and I immediately fly into let's try to be responsible mode. So I immediately call 911. I'm filing a report. He's on the phone with our insurance. Like, we are just trying to get this all tackled, all handled. Let's just get the ball rolling. Obviously upset, but like desperate times call for desperate measures. You just gotta get going. You don't have time to fuck around. So I'm that bitch who is like, you know what? I'm so angry that they stole my car. I feel very violated, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm gonna go look for it. Because I'm crazy, and how dare you take something of mine? I was so mad. So I decide that we're gonna go look. The husband's like, yes, absolutely, let's go hunt around for your car. So we probably drive around for, I don't know, like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. We're just driving through any random neighborhood, close to the house, not close to the house, just hunting. I mean, the odds of us finding it, slim to none, we know that. And so we're mostly just going, keep ourselves busy, keep our minds off of it. I mean, when there's nothing else to do at home right now, and you literally are just stuck with your thoughts, I was like, I cannot just sit here and let these people win. I can't do that. It's going to drive me insane. So we're driving around, we're not finding anything. I'm so upset. And so my husband's like, look, I have to use the bathroom. Let's go home, regroup, we'll have lunch, we'll come out and we will look again. We'll go at it really hard this time. I'm like, you know what, you're right. We should come back with a fresh eye on things. So we are headed home. And as we're driving that way, I'm gonna use the same brush for my next shade. I'm just gonna wipe it off of my hand. So we're driving home, and as we're doing so, out of the corner of my eye, I see a silver car, and that's what I drive like a silver car. So I see a silver vehicle and I'm like, what are the odds? So this is maybe 6 blocks from my home. And so I look at my husband and I was like, you should go around the block just to see, like, we never know. And so at this point I put like a post on Facebook about it. I was like, fully convinced I'm never getting this vehicle back. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, they've definitely like changed the plates. There's no way, the police department is never going to find your car. We pull up around the corner and it is my car. We had found my stolen car. What? I'm so shocked. We like can't believe it. And so immediate like thought, I have my keys with me, for just like on the off chance we do find it. And the immediate thought was, why don't I just take it back? And then we were like, okay, let's think this through just a tiny bit more. Let's say I do just try to take it back. What is going to stop these people from coming to steal it from the same place again? So we're like, okay, that's not the smart thing to do. We should not take this into our own hands. We do not need to play cop here. This is not the game we need to play. So we've already done more than we're supposed to do. So what we do is we park like in front of the car just close enough to it that it would be inconvenient if someone had to like pull it out. They would hate us, but they could if they had to. So I immediately call the police again. I'm like, hi. So I know I talked to someone earlier, and I'm just calling to let y'all know that I found my stolen car, and I was wondering if I could get an officer here to come check it out. Like, I don't really know what to do in this situation. Obviously, this has not happened to me before. And the woman on the phone was like, oh yes, girl, we got you. On the way. We're gonna have someone there. 2 hours later, police showed up. So within that 2-hour period, we had noticed that not one car, but 2 cars had kind of been like circling the block, kind of checking us out. And one car in particular was the same make and model of my car. So I was like, this seems suspicious. I don't know about that. I was not feeling great about that whole situation. And so I started to tell my husband, like, okay, if we can, we need to try to see if we can get that license plate number and figure out what the deal is. And he's like, you're right, that's a really smart idea. And so he is trying desperately every time they come by to see it, but they're always just slightly out of view. And so at one point, they're parked maybe 10 feet from us in their car, windows down, but like behind their front windshield is tinted even, so you like cannot see them. And so windows down, just pointed in our direction. So pretty obviously just like watching us. And at this point we start to get a little nervous. This is probably about an hour in where they're just watching us. For the next hour of the last hour I waited, they just sat there and watched and watched. And we were just so nervous the whole time, being like, why are they watching us? Did they have something to do with the car? What is going on here? Like, we literally just didn't understand what was happening. So the police finally get there. They pull up, and we had called back at a certain point and let them know that there was a car that had been like following us and stuff. And so he gets there and he's like, is that car still here? And I look around and I'm like, no, I don't see him. And my husband looks and he goes, yes, they're right there. And so the officer is walking up to the car. He's like, I'm just gonna see what they're doing here. They could be here for a totally different reason. So he's walking up to the vehicle. As he walks up to the car, they throw it in reverse and speed off. So before we can even fully comprehend what happens, or what is happening, both of the officers, there was 2 that came, hop in their individual vehicles and fly off. At this point, I'm like, am I on live PD? Like, what is happening? Is this an episode of Cops? Who am I? So my husband and I are very bewildered. We just kind of stand there. Like, what are you gonna do? I'm not gonna follow them as much as I want to. That's like secretly what I wish I would have been doing, but very good that I didn't. But so we are just kind of standing there like, well, I guess we hang out till he comes back. And so it took about 30 minutes for the cop to come back, one of the police officers to come back that originally helped us. Within that 30 minutes, we had noticed 2 more cop cars and a paddy wagon drive by. So the other cop comes back, he goes, okay, you guys good? Great, sorry about that. We ended up apprehending them. They had sped onto a really busy main street, wrecked their vehicle, were held at gunpoint, but they finally gave up and they arrested both of them. But the driver and the passenger in the car surrender, the cops apprehend them, everyone is good, no one is hurt, all of this craziness is behind us. So the cops come back, they check my car, it's clear, and I am good to take it home. So after a thorough Lysol session, I let it set in there for a few days. I left the windows open for an afternoon at a friend's house. My car is back, completely good to go, completely normal, and I don't fully understand how all of this happened. It was one of the craziest situations of my entire life. I never expected, no one ever expects to have their car stolen, let's be clear. But you really, really never expect to find it. Because once someone takes it, I mean, it is normally either gone, or by the time you get it back, it's so trashed that you're like, well, this is pointless anyway. I'm just so grateful I found it. So happy my husband was there with me the whole time. It was, at a couple points, really horrifying, but the police handled it really, really well. But it was insanity. I literally cannot believe it happened. And I mostly can't believe that it all ended up working out again and we ended up finding my stuff. But let me finish this look and then I will be back for my final thoughts in this final look, y'all. Okay, everybody, that brings us to the end of story time and the end of this makeup look. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw today, don't forget, like this video, subscribe below, hit that notification bell, and I love y'all so much.